So what are we pretending we're fine about today?
Nothing. Not on this couch. Welcome to On the Couch with Queer Corner.
Let me introduce you to
Hey girl,
You're my best friend.
I'm your only friend.
now go AYANDA. And this mama.
What were you thinking? Especially someone in your position. Mzimizi Kulu.
Why would you fuck up our lives like this? You don't have to be so aggressive.
You don't have to be so basic. Yes, mama.
Sanmonani, welcome back to On the Couch with Queer Corner, where every story deserves a seat on the couch. So here we have a special guest, SANDULELA, the writer and director of Blackburn's Fast.
Hello, hi, hello, hey.
And we have our...
I'm back like umgogot.
Yes, back to regular scheduling. Okay, so we'll start with light questions and then we'll get into the whole deep topics.
Okay, cool.
Before we get into the film, your film did come out on the 31st of July. So how has that changed your life? Do people come up to you or you still not getting recognized? Because I know if a film comes out, mostly the actors will be more famous than the actual director and the writers of the film.
And I'm very happy for it, to be honest. I'm an introvert. That's why I chose to be behind the camera and not in front. No, people haven't recognized me, but it's been really nice, like randomly being on the TL and seeing people talking about the film. It makes me really happy to see that. Also, because it's been such a long journey. Like, it's been 6 years to get to this point. And a lot of ups and downs. But I'm just happy it's just like out there in the world,
Yeah, but I've been seeing you on like SABC and stuff like that, interviews. So your face is out there. What's the reason?
I don't know. I honestly can't tell you why. I don't know. Or maybe, I don't know. I feel like South Africans don't really have like a celebrity culture.
True.
Like, unless like outside of like TV and stuff. And also, I'm just like a normal person, and I'm very happy to be continuing to be treated like that, guys. Please, no, iyan stress.
Yeah, true.
Iyan stress. But if my face is gonna be out there for any reason, then I'm happy for it to be out there for the film and to promote it. Yeah.
Of course. And is there any funny things that have happened since the film came out? Any memorable?
Any memorable things? I think for me, the most memorable things happen at like the festivals and like when I meet people who actually, like some people have recognized me and they've come up to say like, thank you so much for this film. I remember when we were in Berlin, there was this 15-year-old who came to watch the film and she said, I came here because my friends told me to come watch because they knew that I've been so scared to watch queer movies because they're usually so sad and scary. But I'm so happy that this was my first queer film to ever watch because it was happy and it was joyful. And now I feel like I can like face the world and as who I am. And that was really like, I started crying in the Q&A, but because that's why I made the film. Because I didn't have anything like that when I was that age. And when I did start watching queer films, I also had that kind of fear. I was like, oh my gosh, is this what's going to happen to me when I tell my parents? Or when I tell the people close to me, like, is my life going to change that much? And my life has changed, but in a better way.
Wait, when you said you were scared to tell your parents, what do you mean? Were you not out before the film came out?
No, I was. But like I'm saying, like back then when I started watching queer films.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. You did say you didn't want to have a Red Bull on camera. I actually wanted to fact check.
We need a fact check because, guys,
can you explain to the audience why, so I can quickly...
Coca-Cola is currently a company that injects a lot of funds into the state of Is Not Real. And I believe and subscribe to, I try to do my best to boycott companies that have a big stake in that country, that occupied country.
Yeah.
And so, I don't want to be
associated.
I don't want to be associated because I get that I'm one person, but if as small of a contribution that I can make, I will make it. That's how I do my part. So what's the fact checking telling us?
It's gonna be debunked. Red Bull is not under Coca-Cola.
Okay. Good to know.
Red Bull is
It's
its own
independent.
independent company, privately owned primarily by Jovigdi family and Mark McShitz.
Yeah, it's not under Coca-Cola.
Yeah, it's not under
What's the
Coca-Cola.
association with that territory?
The confusion probably comes from the fact that Coca-Cola has distributed Red Bull in some markets,
Oh, okay.
but they do not have anything.
Just check if they're affiliated with that place.
You're not
I
compromising.
don't play hate.
You're not
I
compromising.
haven't had
let's fact
McDonald's
check
in like 4 years. Like I'm not playing
If they are affiliated
I can
with
respect that.
that place.
what
know.
place? Oh,
Right. I see. I actually respect that, like you go that far, Guti. You're not at all, not even to be seen with it.
Well, if you think about it, like apartheid's a big reason why international countries started pushing against it because they, people in other countries were pushing to boycott South African products and companies.
Yeah.
And then the sanctions followed. So yeah. I knew it.
yes, Red Bull has a commercial presence in Israel, but that is different from saying Red Bull is an Israel company. They have
just
it in
drink
the
water.
country. They just
Yeah,
they have it in the country. It's like they have it here in South
Yeah.
Africa.
Ikona, but it doesn't mean that
But it doesn't mean they're
that they-
associated with it. I think those are two different things.
Exactly.
Surely.
The presence of something does
Yeah.
not
Let
mean
me check the BDS list, actually. That'll actually...
okay.
So if you would like to join this cause, you can go on Google and look for like the BDS list. And that is a list where activists have put on the different countries that are associated. And look, it's not every country every company that's associated with that company. There are specific companies that have been chosen that they've identified and said, this is impactful for us to not take part in their, take part in consuming the things. So yeah, so I'm gonna check. But yeah, let's carry on. I can.
Well, Tinaga, because we're manifesting
Yeah, sponsorship.
the sponsorship
Wink,
from Red Bull. Here's
Yeah. So I've haven't really gotten the chance to watch the film, ne? But
Yet.
we've been watching. Yeah, yet. Of course. We've been checking out online, obviously, to see. I've seen your face a lot on TikTok, a lot searching, and from the cast members as well. Just wanted to know, like, there's this thing, Yoguti, coming out is negative, especially in the Black community, and there's a lot of trauma involved. Why did you choose to make it like a joyful type, a witty? Because I've even seen reviews from other people from other countries talking about how this movie is represents queerness in a witty way. Like there's a lot of joy in that movie instead of trauma.
Yeah.
So like, where was that mindset for you? Like, how did you go about that when you were writing?
So for me, it was really about. Well, that's been my experience, right? I think in self-actualizing, in realizing this part of myself, it helped me unlock a lot of confidence in who I was. It helped me learn a lot more about myself. And it just made me happier for that. Most of my friends are queer. And they've brought so much joy to my life, but it's also helped me view life in a more expansive way. I would say like my life has just gotten like bigger because of that. And I wanted to show that for people because it's tough when all you can see is like that when you come out or when you identify as queer or gay or whatever, that there's going to be hardship, that it's going to be traumatic, that you're going to be poor, that your family are going to kick you out. If that's all they're telling you, then it becomes scary for you to live in your truth. And I didn't want to keep perpetuating that narrative. So I wanted to also show like the other side of that there is joy on the other side, that there's not always fear. And at the end of the day, it's better for you to live your life as you want to, because you'll be happier that way.
True.
And like other people, just straight people get that all the time. Why can't we have that?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I like that. That's different.
Yeah.
I also wanted to get in, funny enough, we know that you studied economics and law. So how did you divert, or when did you make the decision to get into
film?
Yeah.
So Black parents, they don't really support the creatives and the arts.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
don't.
yeah.
And can I say something? I wanted to speak on this because for some reason, like queer people are always creatives. They always end up being in that space.
Yeah.
Because for me too, like I have like a 9 to 5. It's very serious, but the creative side has always been my passion.
Yeah.
And for some reason, there's this thing in the queer community where people
all
just
do that.
love expressing. What is that about?
I think it comes from like your kind of society tries to force you to suppress.
Yes.
So then so when you come into yourself, you want to express yourself. You want to be creative. I think part of it is also realizing that you can be more than one thing.
Yeah.
That's a great thing about like queerness. Like you can be more than one thing. You can be defined by many things that can always change.
Yeah.
And so my parents are like, you need a fallback or something serious to do, because I actually wanted to do drama.
Oh, so from the get-go, really?
Like I've been acting since I was 8. I've been doing theatre since I was like 8
I'm
years
thinking it
old.
was like something you had decided later on in life, and you're like, actually,
long time. I've been doing it since I was 8. Been doing drama, been doing theatre, wrote, I was reading, and yeah.
Wait, sorry to cut you. Then does it have anything to do with the fact that you're queer and that you were being suppressed if it had been a dream from the get-go? Because I could also say since I was very young, I was a very creative kid.
Maybe it plays into it. I don't know. But I think coming into my queerness made me realize I could be more than one thing, and that I didn't have to follow this like very strict path. Okay. And honestly, I was like, if I'm what's this word? If I'm like rebelling and going off the path, the chosen path in one way, I can do it in different ways as well.
I get that.
Yeah.
I think another thing, I saw this video that says that a lot of the times that when our parents, like black parents, are saying that we must have something to fall back on is because they associate creativity with whiteness.
Interesting.
And it's from apartheid and things like that, to say that we never had the luxury of time in order to pursue creativity. That's why even when apartheid ended, parents are still saying, you must be a doctor, a lawyer, you must do, because they want something solid. They don't believe that your creativity can actually get you paid and living luxurious or whatever, secure.
I think it's more that like just the concern of like, will you be able to stand up on your own 2 feet when I'm gone?
Yeah.
Because also remember, like, for a lot of us, there's no generational wealth.
True.
And your parents work hard to try and give you a better life, and they also want you to make choices that'll get you there too. And so I completely understand the notion. And also, like, we have very few examples of actresses and creatives in this country that die with money. They always die in poor circumstances, don't have medical aid, funerals must be GoFundMes, children cannot eat. Like, it's a very big issue, so I completely understand. So I finished my degrees, and I was kind of like, you know what, I still want to do this thing. It never went away. And luckily, during varsity, I was still like acting in res plays, I was still writing stuff. And so I looked at AFTA, and I did their honors degree. And with them, what's nice is they have this thing of like recognized prior learning, which if you didn't study a creative thing, you can use your life experiences or the things that you've done. So I submitted my plays that I had written, and I already knew how to do like finances and stuff because I did that in economics. So initially I went into the writing and producers program. But then what they do for their writers is that you pitch to the directors in the room, whatever story, and then the directors pitch back to you how they would interpret that. I was doing a modern reinterpretation of the story of Unongqawuse, which is like a very old Xhosa tale. Well, it's just also part of our history. And all the directors were white men. And I was like, you guys aren't getting it. So, and I asked, like, can I do this myself? And they're like, yeah, sure, if you're willing to like do the catch up and go to third year classes to learn like the technical stuff.
Yeah.
And I did that. And I distinctly remember being like on the first day of sets when they were like setting everything up and being like, oh yeah, this is where I'm meant to be.
Yeah. And just loving it.
Like it just felt like it's this feeling that I had inside, like, this is what I'm meant to be doing. And then I just like pushed and worked like I had no other choice. I interned for a production company. Then I was a junior producer. Then I was a program manager for a screenwriting program, which was really nice because then I could sit in during the master classes and learn just as like everyone else was learning. And I made friends with the writing consultants so that when I was writing stuff on the side, they would also read it for me and give me notes. And then after a while, actually during COVID, the year of COVID, I quit my jobs. And I said, listen, I want to direct, I want to write.
Yeah.
And I was very lucky in that I was working with Kate Pansachro, who was the producer for that company. And she was like, okay, great.
Wait, why did you? I get the time that you have to put in it, but like, why did you quit your job? Did you have the finances to?
I had some finances, but also I was just like, I was realizing that I had, because I think I was like 3-4 years into that job. And I was really feeling like if I don't leave now, I will not be able to leave. I won't be able to do it in future because it's not even just about having the finances later on, but you actually get used to constantly being paid. You get used to the routine of it. And it's very tough to take yourself out of that or live your life outside of that and consider your life out of it. So I was like, if I'm going to keep pursuing this thing, like I have no other choice, that I really have to be all in.
I get that. I get that.
But do you not also think like you should have a fallback? Not necessarily a fallback, but it would be nice to, yes, have a dream, but also know that you can finance those dreams. Because, yeah, there are people who go full force on their dreams, but then they don't have finances because you still need those things to take you to where you want to be. And I feel like you'd get there faster if there was a backup of finances.
Well, what I did, so when I quit, first thing I did is I knew some artists, so I started doing music videos. So I was still direct. So I was getting my
so you still had a clientele that you could work with. Okay.
So directing, I was doing like script reports, so reading people's screenplays and getting paid for that. And with the company that I was working with, we had a lot of like international connections. So I was like doing it for like European production companies and American production companies. So also like the exchange rate is nice.
Okay, so that's different. You still have the clientele, you still
I'm using
in the space.
But I'm using those skills that I had as a writer to do that.
Exactly. She was full force.
So if I had carried on like working my previous job, I wouldn't have had the time to do that.
Yeah, true.
And then it also allowed me to, because like I'm the type of writer, I don't write in pieces. Like
it makes sense.
I need a full day if I'm gonna write. I need a full week if I'm gonna write.
Guys, this is not a sign to quit your job. As you can hear, she had the clients, so
she knew what she was doing
out there in the streets.
Because at least try to stay in the same realm. But so that's what I was doing as well. And then I got picked up by commercials directing for commercials directing. And so I was doing that as well.
Okay,
so still staying in the lane of like what I wanted to do and still learning the things I needed to learn to get to the level where I'm at.
No, I get that.
And that's what I've been doing ever since. Yeah.
That's interesting. I read on an article that you used to play chess in high school. You're the captain.
That was in primary school. Yeah.
Primary school. That's so far.
And I did that because I'm so petty.
Why? Okay, then I can't ask a follow-up question.
No. It's just because a boy told... I was already playing chess before, but I like played with like my dad.
Okay.
And then I wanted to go play like at school, and this boy was like, no, you can't play chess. Like, who do you think you're? Like, girls don't play chess because the whole chess club was boys. I was like, oh, I can't be part of the club. So I joined and then I became captain. And then I was captain for a few months and I quit.
Cool. That's so cool.
Because I was like, you still can't do it, but fine.
Yeah, because my follow-up question was, because chess is such a mental game and you always have to be
one step ahead.
Step ahead. I was going to ask, do you incorporate that in your life? Like, do you always have to...
Well, I guess I do, but I don't know if it's actively because of chess, but I just think that's how I try live my life.
Because I see it in the way it comes out in terms of you creating a film where you're wanting it to be different than the rest of the traumatic. Yeah, I see that throughout your story. So do you think...
I think that's also informed...
It's a natural thing. Or...
I think it's also informed by like life experiences. Like as a kid, I didn't really have a lot of friends, and I also spent a lot of time alone. So, and when I was alone, I was reading books, I was watching movies, watching TV. So loving those things also, you come to a point you're like, okay, but like no one here looks like me. And if they do, they're in the background, they're not in the front.
True.
So and so when I started filmmaking, when I made the decision to start filmmaking, I was like, I want to change that.
Yeah, and
my work is going to put people who look like me and experience life like me at the forefront.
Yeah. I heard on the videos that you made, Uguti, like you were really trying to put queerness out there. Like,
Yeah.
I really, really respect that. I do. So now if let's say a 15-year-old watches this movie,
Yeah.
what do you want them to pick up about themselves through the movie?
Well, I want them to feel seen, and that what they're going through doesn't have to define their life, and that they also don't have to have all the answers. They can stumble, they can make mistakes.
Yeah.
They can learn from them. It doesn't have to be like a perfect straight line of a journey. I think I remember like being a teenager and putting up myself, like putting a lot of pressure on myself to be perfect and for things to go a certain way. And that's not life. And I feel like a lot of TV shows show it that way too. It's like, nah, it doesn't have to be like that, guys.
Yeah, I always tell my kids at camp, Uguti, no one has a memo for life. We're all figuring it out as we go. So
Your
give
kids on
yourself
campus?
grace. At camp, I'm a facilitator. So
cool.
when we do this, I always tell them, there's no memo. We're all figuring it out. I've been your age, but I also don't know what's going to happen with you. So trial and error. So I get that.
And to also give themselves grace, man. Give yourself grace. I didn't give myself grace at all when I was a kid. I was so hard on myself. And I look back, I'm like, girl, you didn't need to live like that.
Do you feel like that helped you though?
Yeah.
That you were hard on yourself? Because
No, to be honest.
Really?
No. Like
you don't think you achieved more by being strict on yourself? Because I was like that as well, and I felt like that personality trait.
I think I could have, I think I still would have done well, but I think you can do well without being hard on you. Yes, you can be ambitious. I think there's a difference. I think there's a difference between being ambitious and hard on yourself, because when I say hard on yourself, like berating yourself for every little mistake where you get to the point like you don't even want to speak because you're scared you're going to say the wrong thing. You don't want to act a certain way. You don't want to even like experiment or try new things because like
that's different.
You don't know how it's going to go. You can't measure how it's going to go and you're scared about the possibilities that you don't even know could happen. Like that's kind of how I was living.
Okay, that's different.
You see
I'm
what I
thinking
mean?
like strict on yourself, like you wouldn't go out because you had to do this.
No.
Oh,
like
okay.
I would be scared to try things. Like I would be scared to try things because I don't know if I'd be good at it or not.
Oh, okay.
Like that's
a complete.
that's not a way to live. I wouldn't experiment. I wouldn't I wouldn't speak to people that I admired because I was like, what if they don't like me? What if I don't come across as cool? Like that's not a way to live, man. So that's what I mean by like being able to like give yourself grace.
Yeah.
And being not afraid to like make mistakes.
Yeah.
I read on an article. I read a lot of articles.
Yeah.
That's good.
Doing my research. That you called this film a love letter to your younger self. So I wanted to find out if you had to go into the cinemas today, what is one scene from the film that would make you cry?
As like that 15-year-old self.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely when she comes out to her mom. Yeah. That would make me cry. Definitely.
Why? Can you?
In a good way.
Was it a difficult?
I don't want to spoil. No.
No, I'm saying your journey. If it would make you cry, was your journey?
It's just because I had so much fear about it. I had so much fear around it, and I pushed it back as far as I could. But I think I ended up making the decision to tell my parents because I had already been running around in the streets as a baby gay for like two years.
Not around the streets.
The
I was on the
closet
streets.
was glass.
Sana. I was in club bathrooms like kissing your girlfriends. And I got to the point I was like, I don't want this to be used as like a gotcha. I don't want to feel like I can't talk about things. And one day I'll get to a point where I'll be like, okay, I want to bring someone home. And I don't want to have that whole conversation and everything at that point, you know? So I was like, let me tell them.
When was this?
I was 22, so that was 2017.
Okay. And how did they take it?
Good. Way better. Like I remember like walking out of it and being like, oh girl, you really catastrophized this thing so much.
What did they say? Were they quiet? Sorry to get deep into it, but like how was
they had to like I know that they had to like process it a bit, but that's also because like they didn't have as much time as I had to like come to terms with it.
which is I got flagged for this when I said that you should give your family
give yourself-
grace.
yeah.
I had a clip up. I think I put it up on Wednesday, and people were like, "What the hell? We're not living for our parents." And I was like, "You're not, but you should give your family
Consider
grace."
them. Yeah.
Because yes, you've accepted yourself for this long, but also consider them when you actually do come out to them.
Yeah.
Give them some time to process what you're saying. Not that you're living for them.
Yeah, and I'm not saying okay now you're putting your life on pause because your parents.
Yeah.
No, after that conversation, I was back to being on the streets. I kept it moving. I was like, hey, I've done my due diligence. Now you guys know I'm living my life now. So yeah, they were just like processing, and I was like, you know what? And I think initially, I was a bit upset. But I think as much as like I was relieved, I was also a bit upset.
Yeah.
But then I also realized like actually I'm not being fair to them. I've had years to agonize over this thing.
Yeah.
They have not.
Yeah.
And honestly, like it's good. Like I live my life. I talk about my girlfriends. I once during COVID I borrowed my mom's car to go see my girlfriend at the time. And I told her, I was like, listen, I want to go see my girlfriend.
If she wanted to, she would. So now, was there a reaction, or they just had a little bit of a pause and then?
Yeah, they just had a bit of a pause and they're like, okay, as long as you're staying safe,
Valid.
then I'm like, yeah, do your thing.
No, I respect that.
Yeah.
I think there's a difference when there's a reaction, because now that reaction determines also how you would feel.
Yeah, about yourself. And
If
about
there's
it,
a
yeah.
rejection right there on the spot, then
Exactly.
I feel like that's where people start feeling sensitive about it. But if there's a pause, if your family is like emotionally intelligent, if I may even say that, to say, okay, let's just take some time instead of reacting right then and there. And then I think that's where the problem starts.
Yeah.
But I'm really
But
glad
Lungile,
that you
even
had
if
that.
there is a reaction, like, do you not think?
But I feel like
What's
a
the
reaction
reaction?
is emotional.
What's the
Like,
reaction?
That's why it's like what I was telling you, Guti. I don't like speaking about things when I'm in the thick of it, because then my reality and my feelings are not really aligned. Things pass. Do you get me? If you're gonna come out to your parents and say you're gay, and then they're gonna
No,
throw a fit.
if they're name calling, I'm like,
Yeah,
stop
you
it.
see what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like, okay,
you see, that's the
calm it down.
problem.
But if it's in a reaction where they are upset, they are angry, I think that's
Like,
valid.
what they
I'm
say
sorry.
also, what they say.
I don't know about
think-
angry, but if they're like, how, since when, I think that's fine.
Yeah, like question,
If it's
curious
rejection,
and-
right on the spot, like they're not curious to ask Guguti, when did you find out? If it's a negative, it's a rejection. I think that's where people come, I listen to Zuguti, I'm not living for my parents, because
I genuinely
it's
think
rejection.
even
like,
if even if it is like a rejection response, I still think mentally when you actually do tell your parents, you should mentally prepare yourself just for any response, but then also have it in your head to give them a few months to adjust. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
everyone acts,
the same.
because if your parents were emotionally intelligent, if anything, they would have seen this way long
Exactly.
ago.
That's
So
why-
this conversation wouldn't even have happened.
I don't know,
That's
guys.
what I'm saying,
Sometimes,
Guti.
What do you think?
I don't know.
Sometimes they're clueless.
Sometimes they're clueless. Sometimes also because some people are also clueless.
True.
but
That could
I
be the
think
case.
cluelessness and ignorance are two different things.
I know personally, okay, I think for me, so when I was younger, I just didn't have representation of that. But what I did know at the time is that I had a lot of female friendships, and a lot of them I took very, very seriously. And I was very protective over these people. And I was like, hey, you're here all the time. If they had boyfriends, that boyfriend was my enemy. Like, he could do nothing right in my eyes.
Real.
And now looking back, I'm like, oh no.
Those were the signs.
I had a crush, and those were the signs. But there was nothing to tell. There was nothing and no one to tell me that it was this thing. And a lot of the time, what happens a lot with I think female sexuality is that like for a lot of people that's a blurred line, because people expect women to act that way in general. That's what they tell us when they socialize us. But it's actually no, that's not the feelings that I was having. And so sometimes we also don't know. Sometimes it takes you like having to like look back and be like, oh damn. Or sometimes you also have parents, some families, they don't talk to their kids like that about dating and stuff. My parents didn't.
Yeah, same.
Like I got all the warnings, sure, but like no one's asking me who you liked, who you seeing, who you
Same.
talking to. That's not happening.
Do you think that in that case, even if they notice they're in denial?
Yeah. But also I think ask yourself, what representation do they have? Because
Okay,
for a lot of our
yeah.
Black parents, especially, like it's easier when they see a feminine guy or a very clearly masculine woman.
Yeah.
And even then, you know, it's not always fair to say your presentation is your sexuality. So I think but also parents can sometimes be whoop with a lot of things that they don't
Yeah,
want to see.
true. But I still stick to it. I feel like it's not black and white. I feel like your family, you should give them grace, man. Like, I think also I speak for people because I've had it tough. I think that's where I'm also coming from that mindset.
You've
It
been
wasn't
there,
an
so it's
easy
easier
journey.
to-
So I understand that eventually they do get there.
Yeah.
Sometimes, unfortunately, they don't. But
at least they made the effort to get there. There are some people who are just like they close those doors.
Exactly.
And I honestly feel like
immediately.
yeah, obviously, if they close that door and it's been like months down, even people who've been harsh to their kids, we've seen like later down the road, it's like, okay, I've changed my heart, whatever the situation is. But
Hey, Abazali also, I feel like it's hard for them to unlearn and relearn. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Give
they
them
tend
grace.
to be
shame.
unteachable, and they feel
Not
like
that it's
just
a moment for
because
them to shine, but just
umdala,
have it there to
right.
say.
Yeah, no, I think they just have that thing. You would say, I'm standing on business about this, and they refuse to change. I've had my grandmother was like that. Like, she refused to change. We would offer solutions, and she's like, nah, and it's gain. Like, it was a rejection of a better way.
Yeah.
So it's different when they're willing.
yeah.
And when they're not willing, there's hostility from the judge. Like, there's nothing you can do about it, you know. That's why it comes back to what you were saying, Guti. You need to read the room about when it's safe for you to come out.
Yeah.
But also be in a position to leave if there's rejection. You know what I'm saying?
So can I explain what happened to me? Right, I was outed like very violently. It was something I was not prepared for. Very traumatic, very shocking how it happened. And so this woman says all of these things. Sorry, guys, my phone didn't put it on silent. So, and both my parents were there. They were sitting in the room. This lady says everything about me, and then she walks out the room, leaving me and my parents and I. And then obviously as the lady's saying all of these things, my parents obviously defend me, and my mom's like, yeah, we knew, we love her anyway, you know, everything like that. And then as the lady leaves, and it's just the three of us sitting there, it becomes like
Reality check.
we didn't know this about you. So it was, for me, it felt like rejection at that time. They weren't violent or angry about it. It was very much like, we are so confused, we've never seen this. Also because I am feminine presenting, I think. So my parents were very confused.
Yeah, so that's what
They were
complicates it,
confused,
right?
but I think also it's different for me because they did support me, but also felt like rejection because when it was behind closed doors, it was a different story of like,
Okay.
And that's the thing, like,
So,
they
yeah,
don't have
so-
representation. They don't understand that, like, a lot of people don't understand if you're femme presenting. Like, a lot of high femmes are like the most lesbian, but because we don't have that out in the world to show us that, they don't know us.
But sorry to continue. Then carrying on from that, it had been rejection, weird conversations like that, and so that's when I decided to give grace. You know, it wasn't supportive from the get-go. So that's why I'm telling the people on the platform as well to say, even if it is rejection, just give it a bit of grace. You
So
never know.
you think rejection can turn eventually?
Yeah, it has, and it has for my parents.
I think everyone's situations is different.
Yeah.
I think, but at the forefront, right, you have to put yourself first. And for a lot of people, you do, for your own sanity and for your own peace, you also need to give that your parents grace.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people need to do that for their own sanity and for their own peace. It's up to you. But at the end of the day, Sana, you and your mental health must come first. That is my belief.
I don't have parents, so can't relate.
Lungile.
Anyway,
Man.
let's talk about the movie again. What's your favorite line? Like, if someone were to meet you on the road and they say that line, you'd be hyped.
There's so many good quotes. Hi, Mama Beza, what's wrong?
What is that a reference to?
Yo, I can't spoil. It's gonna spoil. I can't.
Just this one.
Guys, close your ears if you're watching.
They're going to pick up their friend after she went to go see their man.
Okay.
What else?
Is it like a greeting? Then
That one was a greeting. I don't know. I have like the girls have like these little stems that like are so funny to me. Like Kensani, who plays Zenande, she laughs. She goes, that I love.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you guys have to go watch it. I don't know. Every
we will.
line is kind of all my favorites. Yeah.
But how was that experience? Like seeing something you've written and then
Come to life.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's kind of surreal.
Yeah.
There was this one shot that like I had been planning for years. And when we were doing it, I almost started crying because I was like, oh my, because that's when it felt like really real. Like this thing I imagined in my mind, and now we're making it happen, and then watching the monitor as it's happening. That's when I was like, yes, I believed in myself, but it's different to like being in the moment and experiencing it. Also because it's like this thing you were writing yourself on a laptop day and night. Now all of a sudden there's 100 people on set doing all the work to make sure that it comes alive. You know, that is also a really like gratifying and like awe-inspiring moment. Yeah.
Were you a part of the entire process from
the get-go?
Casting, all of that? Oh, that's so exciting.
That's so exciting.
So were the cast members like, are they queer or did they have to go through some kind of training?
Oh yes.
Like,
An actor must be an actor. I will say that it was definitely a plus for me if you were. I don't want to out anyone, but for me, the story comes first.
Yeah.
Does this performer, are they the right person to play this character and tell the story? One thing that I do, which I think is quite unique, is that when I sent the character briefs, I also made a video speaking about like why I wanted to make this film, what my experience was. And the reason why that I did that is because I wanted to come from a place of vulnerability so that when the people auditioned, they could also come with a place of vulnerability themselves. Because I also asked them to also like record to do like a 2-minute video of like their high school experience and why they want to play the character that they've chosen to audition for. And those are all things private, they're never going to be put out in the world. But it was also nice for me to get to know them behind their performance as well. Which is really nice because I also strongly believe in like having a set with good vibes and having good people on the set. I don't want anyone snacks. I don't want anyone things. I don't like that thing. Like come, yes, must be a professional and come and do your work, but also don't be like a demon behind the scenes and make everyone uncomfortable. I don't fuck with that. You know?
We always hear directors and people on set saying that they can never recreate a certain moment on set, given the atmosphere or the environment, whatever it is that's playing out on the set. Have you had moments like that on sets where you feel like if we reshoot this, we can never get this moment back?
Yes. So there's a...
What scene is that?
I guess you could say there's a fight that happens. And like, we were shooting it and the girls had been prepared. But we got to this one take and I could tell like, oh no, they've reached flow state. They have locked in. Tears are falling and they're real because there's nothing I hate more than forced crying.
Because you can see it.
That like, if you audition for me and you force yourself to cry, bye-bye. And they hit it and I could tell like they were still crying afterwards. And I said, okay guys, we've got it. I don't want to push more than we've already pushed for their sake, but also like the magic is there. I've got it. I don't see a need to keep going if it's there.
Oh, which one of the cast members would you say had the most of Sandulela in them?
The characters or the cast members?
The characters, like on the movie.
I would say Lutando, the lead, but she's a lot braver than I was at that age. But also, I think just as sheltered, I think, and kind of had like the same approach of like, had a very definitive idea, or in the film, beginning of the film, she has a very definitive idea of who she is and where she belongs in like the school hierarchy. But then the film was about her like kind of discovering actually she's more than that.
Yeah.
Whereas like I feel like I stayed very firmly where I thought I needed to stay. But yeah, she's definitely the one that's like the most. Yeah.
Okay.
So okay.
Which character would be the worst roommate if you had to live with them in the movie?
I would say maybe Lazola. Just because like she's not really academic. She's just living her life. So I feel like she would also be a bit messy.
Yeah.
And also would be playing music at all hours of the day. Yeah.
Have you ever had roommates like that in uni?
Oh yeah. I went to boarding school, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, and not that I was a perfect roommate either. Just in case someone wants to pop out of the woodwork
in the
and
comments.
say, no,
yeah.
no, but that would be like a pet peeve for me. And also Lazola's really social, so she would have people over all the time, and I don't like for me like my room is my space. Like this is where I go to escape from people. So now why are you bringing them here? Yeah.
Interesting. And on with the movie, the scenes, was anything too emotional when you're writing? In the writing phase, was there anything that was too personal that you felt like maybe I don't want to put that in the film?
No. You like once you write, I think you get. Look, this is not an autobiography. But also you get to a point where you should be able as a writer to distance yourself emotionally from certain things, because also being too close emotionally, what it does is that it prevents you from going where the story needs to go.
Okay.
Yeah. So I really tried to keep myself from doing that. And what was really helpful is that I had my producer who kept me, sorry guys, I keep playing with this mic.
No problem.
Who kept me like on the line that I need, and like on the track, and kept reminding me like, this is what you're trying to do, and this is what's working towards that, and this is what's not working towards that. So it was really helpful. Yeah, which is great, because I don't know, I feel like a lot of people who want to be in the industry and be screenwriters or directors always question like the importance of a producer. Or try like find a way to like get rid of them or downplay their job, and like what producers do is really important.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, I wrote the thing and I'm directing it, but like for that thing to happen, you cannot do it without a producer.
Yeah.
You cannot. To even get the money in the first place.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a lot.
And to keep and to do all the spreadsheets and read all the contracts and also people forget that like as a director, like I can move on to the next project after this.
But producer
needs to see it through until the end of that project's life. Yeah.
So now, if we're coming now, technicality, how was the process like from the start? How long did it take for the writing and everything? You mentioned 6 years when we were talking earlier.
Yeah.
So when was the birth of the movie?
Yeah. So I started writing mid-2020. And then I took a break in 2021 to do a short film. And that short film was like a character study of Lutando. And I used it for and we did it for two reasons. One, because there were some character aspects that I was kind of like struggling with. And also specifically the mother-daughter relationship, because I didn't want the mother to be the antagonist. But because it's so easy to like have that even just like come across, even though I was like writing my best to not do it, just the way it was coming across wasn't that. So I used the short film as an exercise to really zoom in on that relationship, and also the friendship, like the closest friendship there. And so I did that in 2021. And the second reason why we did it is because I was a new director. No one knew who I was. So we needed kind of like a calling card to use to like finance the film, to show people like, hey, she can direct, she can write. And if we can do this with so little money, imagine what we could do with a lot more money. So I took a break from that for like a few months, for like 4 months. And then I got back to writing in 2022. I would say I finished writing in 2023. And I would say that's like 8 drafts of writing. Then we did financing for about a year. We spent a year financing the film. We're like pitching and going to investors and stuff. Then we got financing in 2024, and then we shot 2024. Shot for 24 days. I was in edit for like 3-4 months, and that's the editing alone.
Yeah.
Then we had to go into VFX and stuff, and that was for like another month. And then we did sound, that was for like another month. So I think the whole like post-production process was maybe like 6-7 months. And then we were just like waiting for festival acceptances. So we started with Durban, because I had always wanted to have like a South African premiere, even festival wise, because I think it's really important to support our festivals. And Durban is one of the biggest biggest African festivals in the world. And then we went on to premiere in Berlin, and that was the beginning of this year in February. Then we closed BFI Flair, which is the biggest queer film festival like in the UK and in Europe. We closed that in March. And then we did Frameline 50, which was like the oldest queer festival in the world.
Yeah.
And then the film came out on the 31st of July.
Yeah.
And in between that, we had been going to a lot of festivals. I think we did like 25 festivals in like 3 months. And we're still showing at festivals up until like, I think November. Yeah.
How's your patience?
You learn patience, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing with like long form, like feature
Yeah.
films or like series. You have to have patience. Because you're shooting for long, you're writing for long. It's the way it is.
It's not a delay. Also, it's a constant working towards.
It's a constant, but there is a lot of like downtime. There's a lot of time, I guess, like in limbo spent waiting for feedback, waiting for financing.
Because you mentioned 8 drafts now. Like,
yeah.
how was your writer's block? Did you have any writer's block? Or were you just in a
all the
flow
time.
state?
All the time. All the time.
Wait, what is your short film called?
Mirror, Mirror.
Is it on YouTube?
No.
Where can people find it?
Well, if you're in France, you can watch it on France TV. We are looking for, I just got the rights back for it because we signed with an international distributor to distribute the short film. So we just got it back. So we're looking at how to get it on platforms now, because like South African TV doesn't really show short films. So it's about like, we're thinking about maybe releasing on YouTube or on Vimeo.
Yeah, just for people to see that first journey and just talk about it.
Well, we do have a few like engagements like with like Girls in Film, and I think at AFTA where we're showing like a double bill. So it's Mirror Mirror, then Black Burns Fast. And the main reason we're doing that is because like I call Mirror Mirror the little sister of Black Burns Fast. Because I did a lot of experimenting in the short that would then become a lot more elevated in the feature. Yeah.
Are you? Can we actually post the trailer to the?
Oh yeah,
to
go
the
ahead.
movie? Like before we start, so people can go check out the trailer.
Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing. My questions are exhausted. Lungile.
How often did it happen that like some scenes were taking forever to get right? Did you ever have those?
Oh, a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Like the coming out scene, the introduction. I have this weird thing and I've always had it, and it's like, it irritates me about myself. I like obsess about getting introductions just right. And because like I once had this teacher who said like, if you don't get your introduction right in an essay, you can mess up the entire thing. True. And it got to a point where like in an exam, I would write the whole essay first and then go back to the introduction.
Real.
Because otherwise I'm wasting like 30 minutes, 40 minutes trying to get the introduction right. So the introduction changed a lot for the film. The kissing scene, because there's obviously, it's a romance, so there's kissing.
Peace no malams.
Getting that right. Also, we have intimate scenes, and those are very specific because you have to write them in a very specific way. But I'm very glad for that because we haven't always had intimacy coordinators in South Africa, or just like a general media. And the thing is, like, what I like about that is because when you write that intimacy scene, it must be written exactly the way that it's shot. shot, so that when you present it to your performer, your actress, your actor, they can say, okay, I'm willing to do this, I'm not willing to do this. And, you guys plan and discuss it point by point. And I even include like camera angles and where the camera is going to be, so that they're also aware, that they're also emotionally prepared, and also so that the intimacy coordinator can work around that.
Yeah.
Wait, so when you're writing, you're basically writing a script.
Yeah.
It's not like sorry, I'm clueless about this thing.
No
So it's
problem.
not like a book.
No, it's a script.
So you literally saying this camera needs to be in this.
Yeah, like we're focusing on her face, close up, wide,
wow.
whatever.
That's really cool.
And what's nice about being a writer-director and a person who directs what they write, I could do that from the get-go because no one else needs to interpret that. Whereas like traditionally, if you're just a writer,
They adapt from the books.
yeah, you do write what you see, but you're not specific about like camera angles and stuff because you leave that for the director to do on their draft.
But you do both.
Yeah, I do both, which is so nice. I feel like it saves me a lot of time.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah.
That's so interesting.
I like that.
So wait, are you thinking about it being a book, or that's just out of the...
So I've actually been approached to like publish a book about the film. I don't know, man.
I think you'd have a huge audience because I'm more of a book
person.
Would, yeah.
But that's
rather
funny
than a
because people
film.
will say like, a lot of people say like, do people even read anymore?
We
No,
read. I
there are
read all the
readers.
time.
We
I
are
bought a book
readers.
yesterday.
There
We
are readers out there.
I would consider it. I was thinking about doing like a graphic novel kind of because I drew a lot of like the scenes and a lot of the
You're
shots.
also a drawer.
Multi-talented.
But very talented,
I taught myself because I saw, I don't know if you guys have seen Parasite by Bong Joon-ho.
No.
Okay. So with Parasite, I feel like, in my opinion, it's the perfect film. Like from the way it's written.
I've seen with that Asian family. I've seen it. Yes,
the way that it's written and the way that it's shot. And what I found out is that he drew every frame and only deviated by like 3. Which, guys, can I tell you, so much happens on set, so much change, so many accidents, that to hear that is like, that's almost impossible because you're constantly changing things. So the fact that like only 3 frames change is insane. And then they eventually made it into like a book, like a comic book with the frames that he drew. And I was like, that is amazing. I want to do that. So I taught myself how to like draw on like an iPad. For that.
You can't teach yourself how to draw, so you already knew how to draw.
Anyway, I could draw, but like on an iPad it's different. Like, because you're moving between different brushes. It's not as tactile. So I taught myself how to do that. I don't know if I can. I'm not at a stage where I can draw for the entire draw storyboard for the entire film. But like for like the big stuff where I have like specific ideas, I do that. So I was thinking, okay, maybe I could do like a little like zine or a little comic to go with the film for that. Yeah, that would be really cool. But it's also tricky because honestly, like this has been 6 years of my life.
Yeah.
As much as I love this film and I'm so proud of it and what it's doing. I want to move on to the next thing. I have a lot more in me
to give.
I have a lot more. Yeah,
I
I have
can
so
tell,
many ideas and stuff that I want to do.
Would you hire someone to write it for you?
No. Maybe. I don't know.
So you want to do everything yourself?
They'd really have to be able to write like me or write in a way that I like.
Yeah.
Because I'm also very specific about like what I like to read. Like I don't like reading things that are in first person.
Yeah.
Hate it.
I hate a first person. Yeah.
You hate it. So yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
That's incredible, man.
Damn,
Like,
you're talented.
very-
But I am doing short stories, like other short stories now. I just finished one which is like a queer adaptation of Samson and Delilah. So yeah, I don't know.
Do you do theater writing?
I'm writing a one-woman play,
Ooh, I love it.
which is about being a lesbian and like going to all these different cities looking for love. It's actually about why I avoided Joburg for so long, and then eventually just like decided to like get my shit together and move here. And funnily enough, that's where I found love. So it's just like
Do you think to grow as an artist, you would advise artists to come to Joburg?
It depends what you're doing.
Is it the city?
It depends what you're doing and what kind of artist you are. So for instance, Cape Town is where a lot of film happens, but it's also where a lot of international productions happen. And I also find Cape Town, that industry, to be very Whereas in Joburg,
The other side.
where in Joburg, there's a lot more of us, and it's a lot freer. It's a lot more easier to be a queer person of color as well. Yeah, but also if you have aspirations to do television, also Joburg is the place to be. As an artist, you can live between either Cape Town or Joburg. Theatre.
Joburg.
It depends what type of theatre you're also doing.
I mean, I feel like you can do everything anywhere, but I feel like majority of the time is Joburg.
It depends, because where are the gatekeepers? Where are the people who have the money? A lot of the time they're willing to travel, but how often? Also, if you're someone who wants to work internationally, Joburg is much better because even just the airport wise, even just that and access. Most international artists who come here for collaboration and finances and stuff, they come to Joburg. So that's also another thing to keep in mind.
Okay.
Most of the commercials company, as a person who does commercials for ads, Joburg is also much better for you. All the clients are here. A majority of the commercials companies in the country are also in Joburg.
Yeah. So you would recommend Joburg if an artist really wants to just dive deep into the...
Yeah.
So, do you think that having a network beforehand helped you a lot?
So much.
Yeah.
So much. And I wouldn't say I have a huge network. I have a very small network. I keep to myself a lot. This is my personality. But knowing people, and specifically knowing people who are doing the same thing that I want to do or similar to what I want to do has really helped me so, so much. Into getting me closer to the gatekeepers that I need to know, but also being able just to get that advice. And the camaraderie, because they really do identify and understand also what I'm going through. That helps a lot. And especially in the film industry, a lot of the jobs, especially in the beginning, a lot of the work you get is by word of mouth and by what reputation that you have. You could be you could have been the best cinematographer in your class or whatever, but if no one knows who you are once you graduate, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
And did you find, I hear you speaking a lot about you were a child that grew up. Why is
I was wondering what you were saying next.
I'm thinking about the question. Ubuti, you liked your own space.
Yes,
You're very much, you would say you were an introvert.
I am an introvert, yeah.
Do you ever feel like the industry that you got into, you had to force yourself to be more extroverted?
Yes,
because you have to. Yeah, I was about to say.
But more than not, it's kind of easier if you're a writer-director, because that's also where having a great producer comes in, because my producer does all the major networking before I have to come in.
Yeah.
So whereas if there's a queue of 20 people who want to come speak to me, she helps cut it down to 6.
Filters.
Yeah. She filters for me. Yeah. So I'm using my energy wisely.
Yeah.
And I'm from the Manokuku, guys, and I'm I don't want to be but I cannot wait till the day where you have to schedule to come see me.
Yes.
Or you have to get through my team of people before you get to me.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. But being on set as well, because you're saying you are a director, you obviously also have to be commanding people on set. So where does that come from? Or is this a switch that you do when you're having to get into that job?
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the not occupational hazard, but it's what you have to do. I think for me with set, it's a little bit different, because I try my best to treat the crew members as collaborators, because they are also putting so much time, so much effort, so much passion into making this thing of mine come to life. So I do really want to give them the respect that they deserve for that. So I do my best to try and learn everyone's names and address them by their name. Yeah. I'm not a person, I don't shout on set. I don't do that. I try not to swear. Yeah. And because especially as a director, you set the tone for your set, and you also set the tone for how everyone treats each other. So if you want a set where everyone's professional and respected and feels like they're giving something in terms of collaboration, you need to be the first person to give that. If you want to receive it and if you want everyone else to treat themselves that way. So that's something that I learned from like the get-go. I used to... I would not advise this. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but it's because like I came from an industry that I didn't know anyone when I first like started studying film. So I worked for free on sets, and that was like one of the first things that I learned. Like treat people well, even from like the little runner, the PA, all the way up until like the director. Treat everyone well. That's the first lesson I learned, and it's something that I really try and carry through, and I want to carry through for the rest of my career.
So even if you are an introvert, you would say, are you someone who can't discipline people when it comes down to it?
There's no need for me to discipline.
Not discipline, but mind you, obviously if someone's doing
order,
something, you're like, listen. Like,
I'd be like, no, we're not doing that.
yeah.
Or like put
so
my
you
foot
are
down.
very...
Yeah, but also it's a thing that I also came to learn. Like I can be like that, but also it's a thing that I had to learn. Like to be able to like put my foot down and be like, okay, this is not what I wanted. This is not what we planned. So can you tell me why this is not happening that way? And if I'm not happy with that reasoning, I'm like, okay, let's go back to what I planned because that's what we agreed on. Like finish and clar. It doesn't need to be a big back and forth. It's professionalism. But yeah, I'm not a person who goes out a lot, but I'll show up for friends events and stuff. But I like to just be at home.
What
and
queer
be
events
open
do
with my
you, or
girlfriends.
should we promote them on here? What queer events do you usually go to? What's like that one?
I go to same-sex Saturdays, village people.
Love that.
I do balls when there were balls happening here. So when I was in Cape Town, I was always at Spectrum. I was always at Legacy because also like I did drag. I used to do the Kiki events when they were happening here in Joburg. What else did I do?
Is same-sex like what, ne?
No, it's still happening. They're just like
Didn't
they've
they
moved
shut
out to
down or
different
something?
cities. No, they're just doing different cities. They were just in Mozambique. Like the
Yeah,
other month.
recently I saw them in Mozambique, but haven't they shut down? There was something about shutting down.
I
I don't know.
Really? Okay, well, guy, I don't know who's the founder of that. And his host, the guys, for a live podcast, we would love to do that.
There's also I want to start going to Brave Spaces. So they do it's like a social club. They do hikes, and like quiz nights and stuff.
Is this
I
queer?
love a good quiz night. Yeah.
Do you like queer spaces?
Games nights and stuff.
Or like heterosexual spaces also?
I prefer queer spaces. I'm not
Why
gonna
do you
lie.
prefer queer spaces?
Yo, guys, watching the straights do their thing is a bit stressful and it's sad.
And sad.
But also the music is usually better at a queer event.
How is the music different?
It's better. It's usually also like more current. Like it's 2026. You can't still be playing All I Do Is Win.
That's very
Enough.
specific.
Yeah, no.
Enough. And I feel like there's more of a mixture. I'm here, at least at a queer event, I'm hearing like Megan Thee Stallion. I'm hearing Doechii and stuff. I'm not hearing that anywhere else. Even the Gqom is there like better because the DJs are queer.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
The best DJs are queer. Lelo, what's
but
good?
even at Rose all day, like
Yeah.
the DJs there, the queer DJs, they have the best sets.
Yeah, when I get-
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Queer people just do everything.
Queer
the
people
best.
are the creatives, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the last question about the movie. What's a conversation you wish people still be having after the success of the movie 5 years from now about it? Do you like this is still a topic because of Black
Because of the
Man's
film.
Fast? Yes.
That queer people deserve to be seen in mainstream media and in the fronts.
Yes.
Not the funny side character.
Yeah.
Like some shows do like, yo, beep this, youngins.
Real. There's
Please beep
I
this.
don't watch it. I think
I'll come
used
for
to.
you guys.
I
But like,
hear you.
Like I'm tired of the queer person being like the
An
super femme gay
extra.
boy and he's the clown for the whole group. Like no. Like queer women deserve to be mainstream. Like black women deserve to be mainstream and in the forefront. And I hope that this film and the success of it, which is why we're pushing so hard for it on like social media, because like if we can show the people who have the keys like, hey, there's demand for this and you guys can make money from it because they're thinking about the bottom line, so that they make more type of work. I hope this film opens the doors for that. Because we really need it. Yeah,
We do.
Guys, even Nama watch party and go watch the
Please,
film,
guys.
please go support. Please,
even
please.
if you don't want to watch the film or you don't like the film, it's not that thing. Just buy tickets.
Yeah,
Because
buy
at the end of
ticket
the day,
and-
they're looking at numbers. Just buy
Yeah.
tickets. That's your charity for the year.
Actually, I will go
Yeah.
and like buy 5.
You
or
didn't do
something.
67 minutes of Mandela Day. Here it is.
Exactly. Buy 67 tickets.
Yeah, to support the community.
But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much, man.
Thank
That
you
was
so
lovely.
much, Sandulela.
That
We
was really
enjoyed having
lovely.
you. I'm not sure if you want to come back for actual, because I did as much as we did say we didn't want this to be an interview, I feel like you should come back to actually do a proper sit down on the couch, because we want to hear your views on other things. And I feel like we've solely focused
Yeah.
on the film. Obviously, we wanted to
Wanna know
highlight it,
you.
but
Yeah.
we'd love for you to come back to have.
Just think about it. Think about it.
There you go. I don't want to be cancelled.
No, you're not.
Guys, actually, we were talking before we started filming, and you actually have some very,
Very intellectual points.
Yeah.
I got
Like the way that you think is
Yeah.
different, and people need to hear it.
Absolutely.
And obviously,
Yeah.
we'll film. And if there's anything you want cut out, then definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
We got you. Just think about it and let us know.
Okay.
No
cool.
pressure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll
All
let you
right.
guys know.
Thank you guys so much. What is this?
Episode 9.
Episode 9.
8. Is it 8 or 9,
Can
Mr.
you-
Producer?
Episode
you guys
9.
start?
It's 8.
It's 9.
It's 8.
It's 8?
Yeah, they told me last night that you'll be back for episode 8. I was like, yes,
No, 8.
it's episode 8. Yeah, me and you
Oh.
did until 5, then 6, 7, 8.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
episode 8.
8.
So, guys, see you.
you
Really?
guys.
Did you really just do that? She said 6, 7.
6, 7.
Oh, my goodness.
What?
All right, guys. See
I can
you.
help it. That's good.
Yeah.
See you back
See you
on
on
episode
episode 9.
9. Bye.